Has the Bitcoin bear market started? This is the question that I got a lot yesterday, the days before, and also today as soon as I woke up. Has the Bitcoin bear market started? And what we can see over here, first of all, to start with, is the previous bull market range, in which we have a range pivot 1, range pivot 2, range pivot 3. Look at the respect of the mid-range, look at the respect of the quarterly level, right? Range levels constantly getting respected as support and resistance over here as well. So we can see that we have a valid high time frame, high probability range. Now, in my opinion, guys, the bear market has not started yet, because usually bear markets start after a weekly bearish divergence, after a weekly market structure break. Now, I can see that you are thinking, but Jip, we are looking at a market structure break right over here. This is not the case. This is not a valid break of structure. I keep on saying this. People make this mistake on the 15-minute time frame. People make this mistake on the 1 hourly, 2 hourly, 4 hourly, daily time frame, and it goes the exact same for the weekly time frame. A market structure break is only valid, right, if we open and close a candle below a significant low to break the structure to the downside, or above a significant high to break the structure back towards the upside. Obviously, you can have intermediate local downtrends and intermediate local uptrends within bigger up or downtrends, right? But this low over here is not a significant low to break. Why is this not a significant low to break? Because the low over here did not bring us to a higher high compared to this high that brought us to this low. So not a significant low to break. So in my opinion, this is what I call a fake break of structure to engineer liquidity towards the upside, to trap people into shorts before reversing the price eventually back towards the upside. Now this reversal, in my opinion, can happen from two different levels. The first level is the current area, in which when we look at a local price action over here, what we are potentially looking at is a potential PO3 pattern for Bitcoin, in which we are looking at accumulation over here, manipulation over here, before expansion towards new all-time highs. Now this is the first and, in my opinion, most bullish scenario. Is this the most probable scenario? In my opinion, this is the most probable scenario as well for Bitcoin. Now you might be wondering, but Guru, how do I execute a trade based off this information? When we look at the local structure, when we want to analyze a local range over here, there's a few ways of doing it, but in my opinion, the most obvious range to take over here is this one. This range, like this, you can draw it like this, or you can put it slightly lower. What is important to note is that we have a range low over here, range high, more importantly, around this range low on the 4 hourly time frame, like this. We can see that we have our market structure break over here aligning with a range low. Now, we are mitigating a high time frame liquidity pool. Do the orders of the smart money get filled within this liquidity pool in a matter of a few hours? No, it will take some time. In my opinion, most bullish scenario is to consolidate over here for the Bitcoin price, mitigate this liquidity pool, get a sweep, get a break of structure, right? Something like this, in which this break of structure over here is our trigger to start entering a swing long back towards new all-time highs, anticipating this PO3 pattern to play out. This is the first bullish scenario. No confirmation, no trade. Why? Because, like I said, we are entering a local downtrend, right? Does it mean that the higher time frame trend has shifted to the downside? No, but locally we are in a local downtrend. So you really want to wait for some strong confirmation over here before swing longing the price of Bitcoin back up again. We are still in a bull market. Weekly trend is still towards the upside. Daily trend is still towards the upside. Just the local trend on the daily is towards the downside. But does it mean that I'm looking for short yet? No, it doesn't. Now the second scenario on the weekly, this one is interesting as well in my opinion. This is one that you should definitely not underestimate. When we get back to the weekly range over here like this, what we can see is pretty interesting. So when we switch back to the 3-day time frame, for example, or maybe the daily, what we can see is that we have this previous consolidation over here, right? Beneath that consolidation, we know that we have plenty of liquidity resting over here. Now, when we map out this liquidity low and we go back to the weekly time frame over here, what can we see? We can see that this low has basically been acting as an inducement of the mid-range. Now, if you really want to get a beautiful buy opportunity, we know that the mid-range, as long as you're bullish, as long as you're targeting a breakout of the range high, as long as you're targeting the range high liquidity pool, we know that the mid-range is always a perfect area to potentially DCA into some orders or to maybe open up a swing long position. Why? Inducement above the mid-range, trend is still towards the upside. Invalidation of this trend is this low on the weekly time frame, because this is the low over here that brought us to this all-time high and also to this higher high compared to this high that brought us to this low. So that's the significant low to break, to switch the trend back towards the downside. Clean invalidation, clean entry, clean target with a new all-time high that offers an RR of 2.24. It's a massive swing trade. You can play this with spot, for example. You can play this with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x leverage. Don't go high leverage obviously on this. Risk about 2 to 3%. But if we get a dip like this into this level, I will be looking to open up a big swing long position on Bitcoin with as a target a brand new all-time high. So to come to a conclusion, we need a bit of patience over here. I have still about 10% left in USDT, and I will be looking to deploy the 10% into Ethereum, FED and INJ, and probably also some USDT back into Woo, because those are my main bags. I'm still DCAing. I still expect the bull market to continue over the next few months, but this process will take time. People think that the bull market is going to start tomorrow or the day after are wrong. Okay, so be patient, wait for either scenario 1 to play out, in which we anticipate a deviation of that local range, right? And once we get a reclaim in confluence with the break of structure, we expect higher prices. Or we wait for scenario 2 to play out, in which we get a sweep of the previous consolidation phase back into the mid-range, and that should offer a massive, beautiful swing trade with a very clean invalidation, with a very clean entry, and as a target, also a brand new all-time high for Bitcoin. Don't worry. Yes, I did not expect this move towards the downside. I did not expect the range to break down like this, but we are in a very, very low volume, somewhere with empty jugs, that kind of releases and that kind of stuff. But my plan remains the same on the higher time frame. Dips are for buying until proven otherwise.